Hello, how are we doing today? My name is Spectrum Dominus, and today is Wednesday. It is 2 weeks from the last What's in the Box Wednesday. I told you guys last week that if I could get the set working on location while I was on my week vacation, sandwiched between WrestleMania and the NFL Draft, that I would film it. I brought everything that I needed and then some, and still it was quite a kerfluffle. Things did not work out like it should, and in doing so, a lot of things got deleted as I was trying to get them working, and it was a mess. But we're here now. I got us set back up. Everything's working. You can notice probably that it's darker than normal and yet lighter than normal over here. I tried to figure out the best thing. I have all my lights set up. I had them on. I turned them off. I turned them around. I put up the umbrellas. I need to work on the lights, but it's already 5:30 on a Wednesday afternoon. I have to be in bed in 2 hours, and we have a whole wax box of 1987 Fleer to open. I have been looking forward to this for so long. So we're going to fix the lights in the future for the next video, whenever that is, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I'll probably do some this weekend, sorting cards. But I want to get this done. I've been looking forward to this for a long time. Every time I try to order cards, this is one that I look at, and it climbs and climbs and climbs. It gets so expensive every time, more than I think it should. This time I found one that was a decent deal, still more than it probably should, but it was in really good condition, and I got a discount because I bought it from the same guy that I bought the 87 Tops that we opened 2 weeks ago on What's in the Box Wednesday, so there was a shipping discount. So with all those things, I decided to go ahead and purchase the box of something that I've been looking forward to for a very long time to do. There are several rookies in this set, including the Barry Bonds and the Bo Jackson. Those are the two big ones. The Mark McGwire is part of the update set, so he's not in this. And same with the Greg Maddux. So I'm going to quickly run through Kevin Elster, Kevin Mitchell, Jim DeJesus. Let's see, Chuck Finley, Wally Joyner will be one. Kevin Mitchell will be one that I'll pull. Those two will be notable rookies. Pete Incaviglia. Ruben Sierra will be one that if I get a good copy, I'll grade. Mike Maddox, Bruce Ruffins. Barry Larkin will be one that if I can pull a good one, I'll get graded. Eichhorn. There's quite a few in here. I was surprised to see all these in it. Will Clark is another one that I'll be looking for. I will be willing to get graded if I can get a Will Clark. Greg Matthews, not Willie McGee. That's an uncorrected error, not a rookie. Chris Bozier, Glenn Braggs, Dan Plesac, Dale Swing, Bo Jackson. That's what we're looking for. That more than any other card, that's my card. That's the card I want in this set. Then 2 would be Bonds and 3 would be Mattingly. Steinbach rookie will be pulled. John Kruk rookie will be pulled. Those are notable rookies for me. A few more. It is a large set, so Bobby Thigpen, that's another one for me. That's a big deal one. I'll be looking forward to that. And Jimmy Moyer. Last page. Here we go. Belliard. There's Bobby Bonilla and Barry Bonds. Both have one in this. So those are another one. And then, they have Youthful Power, which is Incaviglia, and Canseco, which is, rookies. They'll have little things like that. So we'll take a look at all those too. But there's a lot to get from this, and that's the important thing. That's the point. So we're going to switch over to this. Nope, not this scene. That scene there. We got our box in front of us. As always, we're going to pull out 4 rando packs, put them to the side for social media. We're going to, let's just knock the camera over. Good job, Spec. So good at this. They always tell me that. They're like, Spec, you're so good at this. They never say that. They never say that. But yes, we're going to be opening packs on social media. We're getting closer and closer to that moment where that can be a thing. And when that is, then we'll have all these packs to open daily. And I'll just have to keep buying to keep up with it. Bottom of the 87 Fleer is a box, has box bottom cards. Jesse Barfield, Kirby Puckett, and George Brett. That's a nice bottom right there if it was in good condition. I'd love perfection to cut off the bottoms the proper way and get them graded if that was a thing. I'm sure it's a thing. I don't know enough about it or how that works. So, and I'm sure, I mean, obviously all these box bottoms are in terrible conditions. But I think they're really cool, and they have some. I have some with some really cool players and even rookies on the bottom. So if I got a box bottom rookie of someone cool, I think that would be kind of neat to do if you could. But all right, 4 stacks. What? Oh, there's 2 more. So here we're going 4 stacks that aren't even. All right, so there we go. We got 4 stacks here. There's 17 cards and 1 sticker in each. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 stacks, which makes sense because 4 times 9 is 36. There's 36 packs. So this is 32, and we're saving 4 for social media. So here we go. If we don't get those big ones, that makes the social media exciting. But I'd much rather open the big ones here. Does make it exciting when I'm opening that 87 Topps. Those 4 packs because I didn't get their Barry Bonds. Was it Bo Jackson? I don't remember. I didn't get one of the rookies. One of the rookies I got a bad version of, and then one of them I didn't get at all. So that's part of the excitement. Now these the back card probably have wax issues. Oh my gosh, why is that circle there? I don't know what's doing that. Oh, okay. Good. All right. Found it. All right. So there is no cards in gum in these. So I don't have cards that are damaged by gum. But there'll probably be a line on the back that will damage the back card. A wax line. So we're hoping that our cards stay on the inside. That's the perfect situation. And we will see what we get. All right. First pack. We got 87 Fleer Braves. Then Danny Tartabull. Dave Van Ulen. Bobby Witt. Now that's a Bobby Witt rookie. This is Bobby Witt Jr.'s father. And that's his rookie card. Frank Williams. Billy Hatcher, Doug Bear, Yvonne Calderon, Dennis Powell, Gene Walter, Ron Guidry, Cecil Cooper, Jerry Hairston, Joe Price, Pat Perry, Tom Brookins, Ron Oyster, and Max Venable. All right, so far, Bobby Witt is our top card. That's not a good day so far. But the important thing is we're opening cards. That's really all we care about. It's really all we care about. All right, these are all going the right way. Starting off again with a Braves rookie card. No gum stains. What a ripoff. I like it that way. No gum stains. I don't know if you watched the last What's in Box Wednesday, but I got quite a few gum stains for you if you want them, sugar. Dave Steve, Mariano Duncan, Eric Plunk, Kevin Elster, Angel Salazar, Gary Pettis, Mike Lavalley, Mike Brown, Darren Dalton, Mark Thurmond, Ron Ronick, Ozzie Virgil. Oh, we got a checklist. That's the thing that matters right there. We love those checklists. Sammy Stewart, Carmen Castillo, Andy Hawkins, and Bob James. So far, two packs, and Bob Witt Senior rookie card is still our best card. I think Sugar may be giving us bad mojo. Bad mojo Sugar, that's what I call him. Unless he buys the stuff himself. When he buys packs of cards, when he buys teams in our breaks, it's Sugar luck. He gets all the cards. All right. Another Fleer checklist. Bill Schroeder, Dusty Baker, Dave Collins, John Franco, AL West Stoppers, that is Charlie Huff and Mike Witt, Ed Hearn, Doug Drabeck, Steve Farr, Kevin Mitchell, that's a Kevin Mitchell rookie. That's going to slide into my notable rookies. Not a gradable card, but definitely a notable rookie for me. So that is so far our best card. Kevin Mitchell again. Look at one of the things I'm liking is look at it. Look at these centerings. Look at this. These cards are in really good condition. I'm excited. We will be. I'm supposed to not prep my next PSA until the one that's out comes back, and that's less than a month away now. It'll probably be a little over a month because it's supposed to be back on the 29th, which is a month from yesterday. But you know, shipping, we'll see how it works out. But I think I'm already gonna start prepping because these cards look so good. I love these cards. 4,000 strikeouts. Steve Carlton, Jim Warfold, Roy Lee Jackson, Mel Hall, Tim Wallach, dual prospect Ralph Bryant and Jose Gonzalez, Bob Stoddard, and Rick Manning. You know, I'm talking like we already have a card to send, though. These cards are in great condition. I love them. They're in nice cut, very good condition, but we haven't actually pulled anyone yet, so. And with my luck, when we do pull people, they'll all have wax stain on them. If you guys watched the 87 Tops, it was brutal how many cards I lost to gum stains. Twins Pirates, we got Charlie Hudson, Darnell Coles, Glenn Wilson, Chris Chambliss, AL Fireman Dave Righetti, and Don Ass. That's not how you say his name, but it's AASE, and I call him Ass. Jeff Sellers, Corey Snyder, Steve Garvey, Richard Dodson, Thad Bosley, Rick Dempsey, Joe Cowley, Scott Geraltz, Keith Atherton, Bob Melvin, Jim Wynn, Bobby Gritch, and Keith Moreland. It's official. This box is a bust. We are 4 packs in, and we have a Kevin Mitchell rookie, and our second best card isn't even one we've sleeved, is a Bobby Witt Senior rookie. It's a bust. We should be getting Barry Bonds and Bo Jackson rookie cards in every pack. That increases the chances of them getting a 10. All right, we got the Mets. Jesse Orosco. Count them, 4 home runs in 1 game by Bob Horner. Wallace Johnson. Steve Lombardozzi. He's one of the 2 people that remind me of the Brooklyn Brawler. Julio Franco. Bob McClure. Willie Frazier and Devin White. Devin White is definitely a notable rookie. We're going to slide that one in. I didn't even mention that one because once we got to the 2 people cards, I just kind of ignored them all. But Devin White was a notable rookie. We chased him. We thought he was going to be the best, one of the top 3 people out of this product. Bip Roberts, Brian Clutterbuck, Ernie Witt, Oral Hershiser, Steve Yeager, Hojo Howard Johnson, Dennis Leonard, Bob Boone, Todd Whirl, and Mike Diaz. It's pretty bad when Devin White is your second best card. Actually, I would think maybe the Oral Hershiser might be my second best card. Heck, the Oral Hershiser might be my first best card, just not someone I collect. All right, we're almost a stack down. And we don't have anything added to our collection yet. Not seriously. Expos and Orioles. Let's turn these. Oh, I think we got an All-Star card. We're going to stick that in the bottom. Look at that last. John Steffero and Kevin Seitzer. That's another one that's kind of like the Devin White. Makes me not want to keep the Devin White. I don't want to keep the Devin White. I have one less card. Steve Lombardi and Steve Lombardozzi Kevin Seitzer is another notable rookie that I'm not going to keep. But I just lost a card. I saw the Kevin Seitzer and it pulled me off of the Devin White. Bob Shirley, Ray Quinones, Brian Fisher, Ben Ogilvie, Fleer Checklist, John Henry Johnson, Bill Mooneyham, Bill Campbell, Pete Rose. There we go. Oh, and then the next card is a gradable card. All right, we got a Pete Rose. Now, I am grading the 87 Topps Pete Roses, so I'm actually probably going to stick this in the grading category. That being said, I'm not sure it'll ever get sent. I don't think I'm ever going to send that, but it is going to go in there with the 87 Topps. We'll see if it ever gets sent. And then, of course, all Don Mattingly cards. I'm going to get the full Don Mattingly collection graded is my goal now. So this definitely gets graded. However, with the card it being a two-person card, 87 Fleer, not a big deal card. It's going to be far down the list. It definitely doesn't make it up there because these are all the current people. This would be the old stuff, and I don't think I'm going to send it before I send the Jey Uso or the Kofi Kingston numbered cards. So, yeah, it's not going to make it up on that board. All right. Tom O'Malley, Ron Kittle, Willie Wilson, Mike Scott, Mike Davis, and a Tony Fernandez All-Star Team card. I don't know if it exists. I don't know if there is what the All-Star cards, who is in the All-Star cards, but if there's a Don Mattingly All-Star card and I pulled one, yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. That's what we're looking for. Who cares about Bo Jackson? Don Mattingly All-Star card. I may have lost the what's it called? Lost the sight, lost the plan, lost the vision. Steve Crawford, Marty Barrett, John Kruk. Okay, that is a notable rookie for me. Won't be graded. It's like the Kevin Mitchell, but John Kruk, notable rookie. Ozzie Guillen, Dickie Knowles, Fred Lynn, Omar Moreno, Mike Kruckrow, Kirby Puckett. Let's pull a second one of these. I'd love to give Shane one of these. That's a lovely Kirby. I'd love to pull a better one for me and then give Shane this one because it's miscut. You can see how miscut that is. But does make it to my PC. All right, we got Randy O'Neal, Rafael Belliard, Cal Ripken Jr. What a pack. Holy cow. I have gotten in this pack alone 3 of my top 10 favorite players. And you know what? The Mattingly's in this. 4 of my top 10 favorite players. Because there's the Ripken, and right after it is a Ryne Sandberg. This is a heck of a pack. Heck of a pack. Now, keep in mind, guys, when I say favorite players, the only players that make my top favorite players list are players that were retired when I made my list. Meaning, I don't consider Pujols on the list yet because I haven't remade it since he's retired, and no active players are on that list. I don't consider them my favorites yet. Mike Morgan, Don Baylor, Gary Ward, and Sid Bream. I only say that because if I listed off my favorites, you'd be like, you don't have anyone in there? You don't like Mike Trout? Oh, hell yeah, I like Mike Trout. He doesn't make it on the list because he's active. Just how I do things. Oh, that card, I'm going to have to check for wax stains. I hope there's no wax stains on the back. There's a Tim Raines, Tim Rock Raines, Gary Lucas, Rance Mullikins, Ed Vandy Berg, Tony Fernandez, Mike Scioscia, Jeff Calhoun, Doug Sisk, Phil Gardner, Doug that's a rookie, I think. Ozzie Smith, that one we're keeping. Jamie Quirk, Ed Lynch, Eddie Milner, Juan Samuel, Dale Murphy. I have no interest in that card, but if someone else wanted it, all they'd have to do is mention it. And we got a Ruben Sierra rookie card. Let's check the back for wax. Yeah, it's definite wax. You can see it. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this one in. You guys know about the upside down. We put it in, which means this is a card I want. It's upside down because I need a better one. So we do that when we get things waxed or we're looking for one to get graded and it's miscut badly. So, all right. So we'll take all these here, including the Dale Murphy, and we'll just throw those in the trash. And that's the end of Stack 1. Wow. Stack 1 was horrendous until the last 2 packs. And then the last 2 packs, we did pretty well. Now, we still haven't hit any of the only 2 cards we really care about. 3 cards. 3 cards we care about. I guess the 4th most important card would be a Will Clark rookie, is what I'm thinking. All right, there we go. Baseball stickers. We're upside down. So let's flip these. And I did see the back card, and it's something I would keep, but it's probably damaged for wax, but that's okay. I've already gotten it. Dick Schofield, Willie McGee, Tommy John, Garth Org, Bill Russell, Mark Einhorn, Reggie Williams, Tim Conroy, Mitch Williams, that's a rookie as well, Eddie Milner, Juan Samuel, Dale Murphy. Yeah, that sounds great. Sounds great. Jeff Calhoun, Doug Sisk, Phil Gardner, Doug DeShace, and Ozzie Smith with the wax stains. They're there. It's hard to see in this sliding, but they are there. All right. That was almost a completely pack. Every one of those were in the previous pack. 2 packs back to back, exactly the same. All right, we got the Cubs, the Cubbies, Willie Randolph, Paul Molitor. There's one of my guys. Sleeve that up. So I think I've decided, someone talked to me about books. I may have talked about this in a previous video. You know, the old booklets with you get sleeves and you get 9 cards on each side. And that's always been like trashy to me or whatever, very dangerous. But then I start talking to him about collecting a player that doesn't have any valuable cards. Paul Molitor, for example. Like, okay, if I had a Paul Molitor rookie, which I do, I have 2 actually. They're in terrible condition, but I wouldn't put that in. But if I got one in good condition, I could put one of the bad ones in. And a 1987 Paul Molitor, it's easier to look through the collection that way. So I may be putting all of these people that I love, Paul Molitor, Ozzie Smith, Ryan Sandberg, I may be putting them in books, even though I've always sworn against books because of the damage they do to cards. Bill Darley, Cal Daniels, Kurt Ford, Jack Morris, Ted Power, Joe Johnson, Ed Oldwing, Steve Bedrosen, Frank White, Wally Backman, Ray Soff, Charlie Huff, Ray J. Tibbs, Ken Schrom, and Vance Law. So that might be coming soon. I just got to see what the best, smallest, most compact options are. I don't want these big, giant binders. I want small, cool looking something or others. I don't know. Maybe I'll get some Trapper Keepers. Trapper Keepers. When's the last time you heard someone say Trapper Keeper? Alright, half of these are turned the wrong way, so we will turn them the right way. We have baseball stickers. Terry Francona, John Shelby, Jose De Leon, Dan Gladden, Mike Smithson, Randy Kutcher, Joe Orsulak, John Candelaria, Shawan Dunston, Ken Phelps, Chris Cotoroyali, Steve Buechele, Mike Aldretti, Jim DeJesus. No, it's his rookie, not Doug Day. Dave Stewart, George Frazier, Dave Anderson, and Marvell Wayne. Marvell Wayne. One of the long-lost Bruce Wayne uncles. The Yankees. That's my team back in 87. There were no Rays. I was a Yankee fan. Jerry Royster, Mike Easler, Tim Leary, Gene Nelson, Carl Willis, Tito Landrum, Willie Hernandez, John Denny, Buck Martinez, Jim Acker, Tim Hume, George Brett, Lenny Dykstra, Steve Lake, Mike Mason, Joe Hesketh, Brooke Jacoby. What I need to do is when I have that little bit of extra money, I need to start working on purchasing my... Like there are some... I want to go through this stuff and I want to pull my own Bo Jackson rookie. It's why we're doing it. But there are some people that we're never going to get to... I'm not going to be able to afford to buy a box of their rookie... of their cards to pull their rookie. And even if I could... It's not the rookie we'd be looking for. There'd be something much more amazing in there. But I want a Lenny Dykstra rookie. I want a Mike Pagliulo rookie. I want, and one. Okay. So maybe when I have an extra $20s and $30, I could get myself a decent copy of some of their rookies, because who even wants their rookies but me? I want that too. Greg Walker, Jamie Moyer, Mike Young, Julio Cruz, Greg Minton, Neil Heaton, Roger Mason, Don Robinson, Rick Burleson, Leon Durham, Jim Presley, Jay Howell, Pete Incavilla, Juan Berenger, Dave Smith, Moose Haas, Alex Trevino, Pete Incavilla, notable rookie. We only have 3 packs left before we're halfway done, and we have yet to pull. And granted, normally the number of cards we're looking for are a lot more than just 3. But I did read off a ton before we started. And maybe I guess I pulled a lot of them. The Incavilla, the Ruben Sierra, Dale Swain, Damasco Garcia, Mike Marshall, Mickey Brantley. Not to mention all the regular players. Still looking for a Nolan. Still looking for a Mattingly. Richard Anderson, Scott Bankhead, Kirk McCaskill, Jack Clark, Larry McWilliams, Greg Gross, Lance Parrish, Don Carmen, Andres Thomas, rookie AL All-Stars Wally Joyner, and Jose Canseco. Jose Canseco doesn't even have a card in this set. His rookie card is in the update set, yet he has a card. That, oh my gosh, that I think officially would make it his rookie. Dwight Evans, Andre Thornton, and Gary Templeton. Wally Joyner would be a notable rookie for me anyway in this set. So this makes this a Wally Joyner rookie. And Canseco doesn't even have a rookie in the set. It's not till the update. I know because... Oh, no, that's not true. He has a Fleer update last year. He has an 86 Fleer update. I have that one graded. Which means that this one isn't officially a rookie. But 14-year-old me says it's a rookie. Because that's how it worked back in those days. It was different. It was different back in those days. And for all I know, it wasn't. But there weren't people talking about it. There was no social media. There was no websites to go to or Reddit to help you understand it. You just thought of XRCs as extra rookies or whatever. And the next year, this is his first regular Fleer that you can buy in a pack. So that was his rookie. You don't count the updates because you can't buy them in packs. Tommy John, Garth Iorn, Bill Russell, Mark Eichhorn, Reggie Williams, Danny Darwin. Exactly. Couldn't buy packs of updates. Randy Newman, Terry Poole, Dick Schofield, Willie McGee. We've already had this pack before. Benito Santiago. That might be a rookie. I'm going to look again. I've still got it up. Chris Spire, Mario Soto, Steve Jeltz, Paul Oschenmacher, Kurt Stillwell, and Tom Seaver. I believe that Kurt Stillwell is a rookie. But real quick, let's check number 429 of Benito Santiago. Nope, not a rookie. He must have an 86 Fleer update, I bet. He has a 86 regular Fleer card. He's on a double card with Gene Walter in 86 Fleer. All right, good to know. Then that's his regular, so that would not be a rookie either way. That's a real rookie. The 86 one is a real rookie, not an update rookie. Yeah, when you were 14 years old and collecting cards were done through packs, not buying boxes like we do today, and and updates were not sold that way. You looked for the cards you can open in packs. That's what you looked for. So Terry Kennedy, Dave Righetti, Juan Nieves. I really wish they thought like Donruss did it. But it was years later before they started putting rookie card symbols on there. Topps always had the little cups and future stars. But we didn't even know what that meant. To us, those meant rookies. And then they finally eventually started putting rookie logos. And those are big deals. Those tell you it is a rookie card. Steve Lyons, Tony Perez, Jeff Lottie, Alan Trammell, Tom Browning, Jerry Rios, Bruce Sutter, Shane Raleigh, Jorge Ortega, Keith Hernandez, Tim Conroy, Mitch Williams, Wayne Krenichki, Tony Bezenard, and Tim Burke. We are halfway there, and we opened almost nothing more than we had. 4 cards. We got 4 cards out of that. 8 packs, 4 cards. That was a terrible stack. Terrible stack. But that means we're due, guys. We're due. For a Jim Rice. Tony Gwynn. That's nice, too. I may end up getting that one graded. I mean, I think I'm going to eventually go back and add Tony to my list. Neil Allen, Otis Nixon, Juan Beniquez, Rick Mahler, Chris Brown, Kent Herbeck. Look at that. That's one for Sugar Shane. Sugar Shane Bartender. Dan Petrie, Barry Jones, Jim Traber, Lee Smith, Matt Young, Spike Owen, Scott Fletcher, Johnny Ray, and Bob Nepper. Bob Nepper. Man, I love baseball. There's nothing better than baseball, and there's nothing better than people who like baseball. You know who don't like baseball? Canadians. Like, why would they like baseball? They've never had a good team. All right. Again, just like with the 87 Topps, guys, we got a card on the back. Again, that's a good card. And it's on the back, so it's probably wax stained. Stickers. Doubles and triples. Samuel and Reigns. Bob Tewksbury. That video is out there. Mark Langston. Dave Winfield. I used to have this card. I probably still do. But this one's got a lot of white spots on it. The cut is terrible. I'm going to have to stick this one in upside down. We all know what that means. I want another one. I want a different one. And right underneath it is a Robin Yount. This one's much better than the Dave. Still a little miscut, but I'll take it. This pack is better than everything in the whole second stack. Look at that checklist. That's a Yofro card right there. Billy Beane, Alex Trevino, Jerry Royster, Glenn Braggs, rookie, Mickey Tettleton, Darrell Evans, Eric Davis, rookie. I would send that to get graded if the cut wasn't off. Not worth sending in if there's not a chance for a 10, and I just don't think that has a chance with that cut. But that is definitely a notable rookie and one I would absolutely send in if I could. All right, Dr. K and Super K, Gooden and Clemens. We collect we collect Clemens, so this will go in our Clemens, and this means that this pack had Winfield, Yount, Eric Davis rookie, Clemens dual card with Gooden, and a Ricky Henderson. That was the back card. Let's see if we can find wax on it. Oh, yeah, it's very waxed. Very waxed. You can see that 3 right there. And then on the word totals, waxed. So I'm going to stick it in upside down and hope for a better one. But if that had not been waxed, that would have been a 5-card pack, which we hadn't seen since the... 6-card pack. Why 6-card? Well, potentially 6-card pack, because we have that All-Star card still. Don Mattingly. Holy crap. Say his name and he appears. I believe in Don Mattingly. I said that it'd be awesome to get one of these in the pack if there was one, which I didn't know if there was. And that one is getting graded. I do think that that's a 9 at best because of this corner. But say his name. Fuzzy Spec Math. I don't know what you're talking about. Spec Math is always perfect math. All right. Well, that was a good pack. That was like 5 or 6 cards there in that pack. Again, no Bows, no Berries, and no base Mattingly, and no base Ryan. We got our second Mattingly of the box, so that's good. Was the Fleer All-Star card, which is, again, good. But it's not what we're looking for. Terry Forrester, Steve Trout, John Moses, Steve Ontiveros, Jose Guzman, Mike Lacrosse, Glenn Davis, Kurt Young, Alan Anderson, Alejandro Pena, Eric Scho, Donald Arthur Mattingly. I don't like the cut. The cut is not going to get me a 10. Ernest Rouse, Ray Surridge, Barry Larkin, rookie. Again, that cut is not going to get me a 10. Greg Matthews and John Grubb. The Mattingly will get sent anyway because we're going to grade it and then try to get a better one in the future. Because that's what we do. The Barry Larkin, however, we're going to put it into the notable rookies, but we're not going to grade it. We would grade it if we thought there was a chance at a 10, just like the Eric Davis. But there's a white dot there. And the cut left to right is no good. So we're not going to grade that one. But at least now we're starting to see all of the cards. All of the cards except for the two biggest. And again, the back card is one of my guys that we lose because of wax. I mean, how unlucky am I with these boxes? This is ridiculous. Tom Henke, Enos Gabel, Mike Brown, Rafael Santana, Hal McRae, Doug Corbett, Terry Pendleton, Bill Allman, Rick Shue, Dwight Lowry, Kevin Gross, Jeff Dedman, 300-game winners Phil Niekro and Don Sutton, Al Nipper, John Butcher, Kevin McReynolds, and Carlton Fisk. And look at that. What a good cut on that card. And a streak right through of glue, right through the 11, 61, and 6. It's a little frustrating, my people. Fellow Dominators. All right, we got the Expos. That was a national. That was a Canadian team. No one liked them. Billy Joe Robidoux, Joaquin Andujar, Frank Tanana, Bill Gulkinson. On base, Wade Boggs and Keith Hernandez. Wade Boggs, one of my guys. Former Red Sox, former Yankee, former Ray. Brad Havens, Joel Skinner, Lonnie Smith, Dwight Gooden, Fernando Valenzuela and John Franco, Bob Sebra, Tim Laudner, Joe Carter, Mitch Webster, Russ Morman, and Ron Karkovice, rookie, Carmelo Martinez, and Charlie Moore. Had a Joe Carter in there, possibly the greatest Blue Jay of all time. Tells you how great the Blue Jays are. Sniff the glue out of the card. Not likely. I wish. Wish I could sniff the damage out of the card as well, but I'm gonna do this and turn this over like this. And we'll just get to the sticker when we get to it because there's an All-Star back there, which is upside down. But it's a different All-Star. It's a very different All-Star. We'll see what it is. Trace Jones, Marvin Freeman, Gary Roanoke, Bob Kearney, Mike Pagliulo, Dan Plesac, Checklist, Stickers, Padres and Red Sox, Larry Herndon, Pat Clements, Eddie Murray. There you go. There's someone for me. Rick Sutcliffe, Mike Moore, Ed Romero, Ed Correa, Tony Pena, Jose Cruz, Tony Phillips, and Mike Schmidt All-Star. Nice. That's one of my guys. Haven't seen a Mike Schmidt yet, so that's an All-Star. Haven't gotten the his base card yet. Eddie Murray. Eddie Murray is at the bottom of my list. Him and Andre Dawson are two of my last guys that make the list, whereas Will Clark and Gary Carter are two of the first people off the list. All right. We got the Cubs. Don Sutton, John Tudor, Bubby Biacanala, Dennis Eckersley, that's one of my guys, Dave Concepcion, Von Hayes, Ken Obertfeld, Curtis Wilkerson, Tony Armas, Roger Clemens. Oh, look at that white spot. This is a third year Clemens. That's a nice clean card. Look at how, every aspect of that card. Look at the corners, look at the edges, look at how centered. It's pretty damn good. And then you got that major white spot right there. Son of a bitch. Greg Nettles, Tim Hullett, Chris Bando, Mike Flanagan, Rafael Ramirez, Mark Davis, and Gary Gaetti. And that was the glue card. And it is quite glued up, so we won't send it to Shane. Oh, I'm so pissed. The same thing was happening with the 87 Topps. I don't assume that someone does this on purpose. I can't see that happening. That they, but the glue is on all the good ones, and then when there is a good card, it's botched like that. The 87 Topps, we had a Cal Ripken in there that just had a black line on the card. I'm not complaining, guys. And honestly, 2 cards can change everything for me. 2 cards in good condition, not on the back waxed up. That's all I'm asking for. Yeah, I needed your seeing eyeball. All right. Bruce Benedict, Milt Thompson, Dan Quisenberry, Sid Fernandez, Clint Hurdle, Dale McCormick, Andres Galarraga, Ernie Camacho, Floyd Youmans, Vern Rule, Cliff Johnson, Greg Brock, Jesse Barfield, Fernando Valenzuela, Jim Pankovitz, Darryl Strawberry. And that's a nice Darryl Strawberry. Of course, that's not someone I collect. He's high on the first out list, but he's out. Makes me want to start collecting them just so I got another card. In good condition. All right, guys, final stack. Last 8 packs. That stack was much better than the second, but I'm not sure it was as good as the first. Although we did get the Mattingly in there. Got another All-Star card here. We got the sticker. We got Tom Brunansky, Dave Bergman, Rick Russell, Mike Boddicker, Gary Matthews, Carl Best, Dave Henderson, Gino Petrelli. That always reminds me of Heroes. Rick Roden, Kevin Bass, Donnie Hill, Bob Nelson, and Steve Fireroyd, Mike Fishlin, Mark Hushman, Dan Pasqua, Teddy Higuera, and All-Star Steve Sax, former Dodger, former Yankee, and former White Sox. May have gone a couple other places too. Enjoyed Heroes. Me too. I enjoyed Heroes Season 1. Season 2 was not terrible. Things went off the rail after that, I think. Cardinals. Aurelio Lopez, Donnie Moore, Danny Cox, Mike Kingerly, Bob Denier, Chris Welsh, Mike Schmidt. All right, that's a pretty good Mike Schmidt. Good cut, good stuff, no major stains. I'll take it. Glenn Hubbard, Darryl Porter, Bruce Hovins, Joe Sambito, Craig Lefters, Floyd Bannister, Rich Yet, not yet, Storm Davis, Billy Sample, and Chili Davis. Not true. Best show of all time. Best season is season 6 and or season 5. And the third best season is season 5 of its spinoff. Name that show. Chili. Thank you, Homer. All right. Everything's upside down. Royals and Giants. Then we have Bo Diaz, Kelly Gruber, Terry Harper, Jeff Stone, Jim Sunderberg, Gary Carter, Jose Oquindo, Greg Harris, Tom Foley, Phil Niekro, Andy McGaffin, Chuck Finley, Dennis Lamp, Pedro Guerrero, Lloyd Mosby, instead of Ted Mosby, Steve Sachs, Tony Walker, and Ron Darling. That's kind of cool that they put the ball on the outside of the frame. I kind of like that. Almost looked like it was an error for a second. That's a good question, and I've kind of shown you what's in the box, and the answer is not what we were looking for. What's in the box? What's in the box? Dave Lopez is in the box. Mookie Wilson, Charlie Kerfeld, Mike Witt, Andy Van Slyke, Rudy Law, Ron Say, Rob Murphy, John Russell, Gene Garber, Don Slott, Calvin Schiraldi, Bob Stanley, Dave Dravecki, Harold Baines, Brian Olikers, Juan Bonilla, and Doyle Alexander. 4 packs left. And then I'll give you the answer to the question. It is not supernatural. All right, let's turn this upside down. Stickers, Expos, Orioles. We got Kirk Gibson, Buddy Bell, Bill Caudill, Ted Simmons, Luis Aguayo, Bud Black, Rick Aguilera, Ken Daly, Toby Harrah, Mike Fitzgerald, Pat Tabler, Andre Dawson, I'll take that, Rob Wilfong, Rick Leach, Ken Landerux, Jim Clancy, and Rick Honeycutt. I mean, what's the chances that there's not a single Bo Jackson or Bobby Bonilla or Barry Bonds in this product? The clues, it wasn't like there was a clues. I said the best show of all time, there's an argument whether season 5 or season 6 is the best season. And the third best season is the 5th season of a spinoff. Is what I said. And as the living authority on this show, I say everything I've spoken is true. If people don't agree with those assessments of the best seasons, then they don't know the show very well. Minnesota Twins. Gary Lucas, Rance Mullikins, Ed Van Berg, Tony Fernandez, Mike Scioscia, Steve Lake, Mike Mason, Joe Heskett, Brooks Jacoby, Jeff Reed, Ken Howell, Lamar Hoyt, Dennis Rasmussen, Rob Deere, Joel McKeon, Sal Batera, and Bob Forsch. Nope, not Vikings. And what is the spin-off show that came from the Vikings? Last 2 packs, guys. Last 2 packs. Friends. So you think that Joey, the only spin-off show that exists from Friends, first of all, didn't get to 5 seasons, but they, seriously, god damn it. Sorry, guys. I hope I did not offend you. Stickers. Bob Kipper, Mike Maddox, Chet Lemon. That's a good guess there, yo, for at least there's a spinoff that went more than 5 seasons. But no. Chet Lemon, Gary Redus, Bob Horner, We got the Magic Mets, Carter, Fernandez, Gooden, Hernandez, and Strawberry. And there's so many more on that Mets team. Lenny Dykstra, Howard Johnson. Dave Magadan's not there yet. No, not Dave Magadan is. Kevin McReynolds is not there yet. Tim Lawler, Andy Allison, Goose Gossage, Dave Schmidt, Ron Davis, Scott McGregor, Steve Carlton, Will Clark rookie, and look at that centering. I'll take it and I'll send it. That one is getting sent to get graded. Frank Viola, we're going to give that to Shane. Go Twins. Harry Spielman, and then Barry Bonds. Look at how brilliant that Barry Bonds is. Centering, corners, beautiful. Last card in the pack. Stain. Don't care. I'm sending it anyways. No, it is not a Memorial Series. It ran from 94? Was it 97 to 8 years later? Man, that's such a good Barry Bonds. I'm so mad about that stain. But I'm wondering. Yofro has won. Ding, 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 ding. Yofro, congratulations. Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Season 5 versus Glory, Season 6 versus Willow with the musical episode. Best 2 seasons of the show. And Angel, Season 5, third best season of the show. Frank Viola going to the Twins. And then Will Clark, also very well done. There is a little dot up there, which may keep it from getting a 10. But it's so nice that I'm going to send it anyway. Microfiber it. I will give it a try. I will see. When we do cleaning the cards for grading purposes, I'm going to send it anyway. It's going in the next shipment. Either way, and when I clean it, I will do my best. But it doesn't look like some of the wax stains are like they're on it as a bump, like there's wax on it. This one is stained, almost as if something was spilled on it. You see that? It's actually like a whole stain. It's not just the wax. It's weird. I'm very upset about that. Oh, gosh. All right. Last pack, guys. Now, keep in mind, we have 4 more packs you can see on social media once I get that up and going. Those packs will be opened on TikTok, Instagram, whatever I do it on. We'll see. All right. So there's the other guy. There's Steve Lombardozzi and Steve Balboni. And the two of them together make me think of Steve Lombardi. I don't know why. This guy looks like him and his name's kind of close. And Steve Lombardozzi is real close to Steve Lombardi. So those are 2 guys that make me think of the Brooklyn Brawler. Roger McDowell, Roger Clemens, and Gary Carter. That's the second Roger Clemens dual card in the set that I've pulled. It is miscut, but good enough for my PC. It doesn't have to be perfect. Dennis Martinez, Mark Salas, Brett Butler, Brian Smith, Phil Lombardi, and Dave Magadan rookie. Look at that. That's a notable rookie. That's a notable rookie that I didn't even know was in the set. Nice. All right. Gorman Thomas, John Cerruti, Bill Matlock, Dave Leeper, Lee Mazzilli, Mark Guberza, Wally Joyner rookie, Bruce Bocci, and Ricky Horton. All right. We're going to put the Wally Joyner notable rookie into the notable rookies category. Again, it's got a white dot on it, but I'm not grading it anyway, so it's fine. All right, so as you can see here, guys, we for the amount of money spent on the box, I'm not sure I feel like I got my value back. Not because I didn't get enough cards, but because of the condition of the ones that I finally did get when I got them. So let's start with, we got this many, plus this many, plus this many, plus this many, plus this many. Cards going to the team sets. Stacks upon stacks of cards going to the team sets. So if you buy a team set, you may get a card from this. Keep in mind, every dupe, if I pulled a Ozzie Smith, then I pulled a second Ozzie Smith, there might be an Ozzie Smith in the St. Louis Cardinals. So just because most of this stuff is common cards doesn't mean you don't get anything. You'll get stuff. And then we also got 2 cards going to Shane. Ken Herbeck and Frank Viola, the Twins. We have this, which I'm going to split into 2 piles. These are my PC cards. We got the ones that are notable rookies, and then actual PC players. Andre Dawson, Mike Smith, Damage Roger Clemens, Dennis Eckersley, Eddie Murray, Mike Schmidt, Wade Boggs, Damage Carlton Fisk, Barry Larkin, Damaged Ricky Henderson, Doc Gooden, Eric Davis, Robin Yount, Damaged Dave Winfield, Tony Gwynn, Jose Canseco, Pete Incavilla, notable rookie, George Brett, Paul Molitor, Ozzie Smith, Ruben Sierra, notable rookie, damaged, Ryan Sandberg, Cal Ripken Jr., John Kruk, notable rookie, Kirby Puckett, and Kevin Mitchell, notable rookie. So, there we go. We got 6 notable rookies, and then a stack, 10% of them damaged, of PC players. And then last but not least, the cards that may be graded someday, the Will Clark, the Barry Bonds, the Don Mattingly, the Don Mattingly, the Don Mattingly, and the Pete Rose. All right. So that's it, guys. That's all. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, feel free to click the like and subscribe and leave a comment, ask questions, let me know what you want to know. I will be back next Wednesday with another What's in the Box Wednesday. What is in that box? Well, you'll have to tune in and find out. I don't even know what we're doing yet. I get paid in 2 days, and I will order another 2 boxes for the next 2 Wednesdays, and we'll see what we get. But for now, we are going to do sorting cards for grading purposes this weekend, and then we'll open some more Wednesday, and we'll start working on the next PSA shipment. And before you know it, less than a month, more than a month, right about a month, we will have those first order of PSA cards back. I will see you guys in the future. Thanks for hanging out.